Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's yoga class will be a tabletop yoga flow. So all of the poses will be done from a tabletop position on hands and knees. If you have any knee issues or knee injuries, anything like that, this is not the class for you. And if you have any problems with bearing weight on your hands or on your wrists, this will not be a great class for you either. This will be a short class. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. And if you have any requests for future classes that you would like to see, please leave them down below. I would love to hear them. Thank you, and let's begin. Coming into a tabletop position right away here, hands and knees. Shoulders are over top of your wrists and your hips are over top of your knees. Spread your fingers nice and far apart and start to shift your weight forward and back a few times. Forward and back. Let's do this 2 more times. Last one here. Good. Return to center. Bring your fingers out and just start to shift from right to left, side to side. Fingers are still spread nice and far apart. Good. Return to center. One more little warm up for the wrists. Lift your palms up and return them down to the ground. Fingers stay down, just lifting and lowering the palms. Let's do this 3 more times. 2 more. Good. From here, we'll take a few rounds of cats and cows. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head, lift your heart. Exhale to round, look down towards your knees. Raise the upper back as much as you can towards the sky. Inhale to lift the hips, lift the crown of the head, look up, gaze up. Exhale to round everything in, gazing down towards your knees, reaching the upper back up. Inhale, lift, look up, lift the hips, lift the crown of the head up. And exhale to round everything in, look down towards your knees. Inhale, exhale 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Return to center when you are finished. And just make your way towards the back of your mat. Keep your hips stacked over top of your knees and start to walk your hands out all the way to the top 2 corners of your mat. Lower your forehead and your heart, your chest down towards the ground. Rest your forehead down to the ground if it reaches. Otherwise, you can keep it lifted. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. Press your palms down into the mat. And we'll stay here for a few nice deep breaths. In and out through the nose. Feel your heart open up here. Allow your heart to lower down towards the ground with each breath that you take. Excellent. From here, start to lift your head up off of the mat. Walk your hands in towards center, back into that neutral tabletop position, our home base. Extend now your left leg out to the left. Tuck your right toes under, and then start to sit your right hip back to the right heel. Walk your hands out in front of you and lower your forehead down to the mat. If it doesn't quite reach the mat, you can keep it lifted, that's okay. But spread your fingers nice and far apart and keep reaching your hips back towards the right heel. And I'll just show you what it looks like from the front. So the left leg is extended out to the left side. Right toes are tucked under. Right hip towards the right heel. Forehead towards the mat. Let's stay here in this inner thigh stretch for 1 or 2 more breaths. And then we'll take it to the other side. Good. From here, lift your forehead up off of the mat. Lift your right hip off of your heel. Walk your hands in so the shoulders are over top of the wrists. And then bring your left knee back to center. And let's do this right away on the other side. Extend your right leg out to the right side. Tuck your left toes under and start to lower the left hip to the left heel. Walk your hands out in front of you. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. And lower your forehead down onto the mat. If it doesn't quite reach the mat, you can keep it lifted. Continue to send the left hip towards the left heel. We'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. Final breath here, in and out through the nose. Lift your forehead up off of the mat. Start to walk your hands in so the shoulders are stacked over top of the wrists. Bring your right knee back in, hips over top of the knees. From here, extend your right leg straight back behind you and then reach your left arm straight out in front of you. Spinal balance. We'll stay here for about 3 breaths before we add some movement. One more breath. Take a big inhale here, big breath in. As you breathe out, bring elbow to knee underneath your body. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Continue just like this. We'll do about 3 more. 2 more. Last one, extend long, elbow to knee, lengthen out, and then place hand and knee back down. Right away, moving on to the second side, spinal balance, left leg back, right arm out in front, ground down into the left fingers on the mat and the right knee. Lengthen out, find a little bit more space. We'll stay here for 1 or 2 more breaths. Take a big breath in here. As you breathe out, bring elbow to knee underneath your body. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen out. Take up more space. Exhale, elbow to knee. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Inhale, lengthen out, gaze forward, and then place hand and knee back down onto the mat. With your fingers spread out nice and far apart, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up just to a hover above the ground. We'll stay here for about 3 big breaths. One more breath. Good. Release your knees down, untuck your toes. Reach your right arm straight up to the sky. Gaze up towards the right fingers. And then thread it through underneath your body, resting down on the right shoulder and right ear for thread the needle. Ground down into the left hand to reach the right arm right back up to the sky. Thread it through, once again, resting down on the right shoulder, right ear. Continuing like this, inhale, reach up. Exhale to thread it through. Inhale to reach up, take up space, gaze towards the right hand. And exhale to thread it through, resting down on the right shoulder, right ear. Inhale, reach. Exhale to thread. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale to thread it through, resting down on the ear and the shoulder. You can keep the left hand just where it is, or if you would like to, you can reach it up towards the sky, and then bring the left hand towards the right hip. If that doesn't feel so good for the left shoulder, you can place the left hand right back down on the mat. Take one more breath here. Reach your left arm up if it was towards the right hip. Place the left hand down onto the mat, ground down into the left hand to reach the right arm straight back up to the sky, and then place it down onto your mat. Before we do that, on the other side, fingers spread nice and far apart. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up just to a little hover above the ground. And we'll stay here for about 3 big breaths. Breathing in and breathing out through the nose. Release your knees down, untuck your toes, ground down into the right hand, right finger spread nice and far apart. Reach your left arm up and then thread it through underneath your body, resting down on the left shoulder and left ear. Ground down into the right hand, lift your left arm up. Inhale here, exhale, thread it through. Inhale, ground down into the right hand. Lift the left arm up. Inhale, exhale, thread it through underneath your body. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through as you breathe out. Let's continue just like this for a few more rounds. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. We'll do one more, and this time we'll hold it here, resting down on the left shoulder and left ear. If you would like to, you can bring the right hand towards the left hip for a half bind. One more breath. Reach the right arm back up if it was to your left hip. Place the right hand on the ground. Ground down into the right hand. Lift your left arm right back up to the sky and place it down on the mat. From here, fingers are spread nice and far apart. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up just to a hover. Lift your right hand up off of the mat and tap your left shoulder with the right hand. Place the hand down. Tap the right shoulder with your left hand. Place it down and continue tapping opposite hand to opposite shoulder, going from side to side. Keep your knees low towards the ground. As you tap left hand to right shoulder and then right hand to left shoulder. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Land in neutral, shoulders over the wrists, both hands are down, knees are just to a hover. And then place your knees down, untuck your toes. From here, bring your right shin out to the right, so your right foot is off of the mat. Extend your left leg out long, right hand stays down, and your left arm will lift up. From here, extend your left arm long overhead, reaching the left fingers towards the front of the room. Lift your left leg up, inhale, take up space here. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more times. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, and let's hold here for a couple of breaths. One more big breath. Set the left foot down. Place the left hand down. Come back into your tabletop position. From here, moving on to the other side, left shin will pivot out to the left. So the left foot is off of your mat. Right leg will extend long. Right hand will lift up. Reach the right fingers towards the front of the room. Lift your right leg up. Lengthen out. Reach long from fingers to toes. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Crunch it in. Let's do 2 more. One more. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach long from fingers to toes. And let's stay right here for one big breath. Good. Bring right hand down. Bring right knee down. Return to center, tabletop position. From here, bring your big toes to touch. Knees as far apart as you like. Sit your hips to your heels. Child's pose. Walk your hands as far out in front of you as you like. You can rest your forehead down onto your mat. Listen to your breath here. Breathing in and breathing out. Can you slow down your breath? Take 3 more breaths. Start to walk your hands in as you lift your forehead up off of the ground, coming to a seated position. And then from there, make your way all the way down onto your back. We are preparing for Shavasana from here. So find any final pose that feels good for you. It could be a happy baby. It could be a bridge pose. Maybe you just want to bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a final hug. Maybe you want to come into a twist. Find anything that feels good for you and your body here. Taking a couple more breaths wherever you are. Making sure to do the other side if you are doing a twist or if you are doing something on one side. And whenever you feel ready, extend your legs long. Allow your arms to just go next to your body as you release everything out long into your Shavasana. If it feels good for you, you can bring one hand onto your belly and one hand over your heart. Listen to the sound of your breath. Know that right here, right now, there's nothing that you need to do. There's nowhere that you need to be. Simply allow your body and your mind, your entire self to rest here. Deepen into your breath. Bring your awareness and your attention back into the room that you are in. When it feels right for you, you can begin to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Perhaps rotating your wrists and your ankles. Maybe bringing your knees into your chest and giving yourself a squeeze. And then when you are ready, you can make your way over onto one side, right or left, resting there for a moment. And here I invite you to think of a few things that you are grateful for. And then you can use a helping hand to press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. You can have your hands down on your lap or hands together at heart center. Stack the crown of your head over top of your shoulders. Shoulders over top of your hips. Sit up nice and tall here. And let's take a big breath in together. Hold it at the top. And exhale, release that breath. Let it go. Thank you so much for being here and for joining me for class today. I really hope you enjoyed this class. I would love to see you back for another one soon. Leave any comments or feedback or suggestions for upcoming classes down below. I would love to hear them. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful day.